Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cat Talk Live here, not from the top floor of the Humanities Building. We are live from Rice Auditorium here, the home of Wayne State College men's and women's basketball. They are on the road for NSIC men's and women's opening round of the NSIC tournament. I'm joined alongside me, Tori Olguin, Armando Alferez. I'm Andrew Reese. Unfortunately, Nate Bope, man who set this all up for us, could not be here. He is on the road with KTCH, announcing the first round of the men's game for Wayne State College against Winona State at 6 p.m. You can go ahead and check that out at KTCH. But guys, look where we are. How exciting is this? I truly can't believe it.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely amazing, man. This is just a good idea, a brilliant idea made by the Nate Bope. But I mean, I just can't believe it. I mean, this is a wonderful opportunity. Hey, and this is honestly a stepping stone on what we could do for next year, next season for like football. And you know, I'm just like excited. I'm nervous, excited for this. But I mean, this is a wonderful thing. And how do you do?
Couldn't have said it better myself, friend. Tori, how are we doing? We excited?
Oh my gosh, yes, you guys. It is so exciting to be here in Rice Auditorium. You guys know I always love being here in Rice. It's just the great atmosphere, being able to be on the same floor that the athletes get to be on and sharing that space with them. It is so special.
Well, we were able to take that in a little bit ourselves right before we went live here on Cat Talk. And we got some shots up ourselves, but we'll talk about some basketball here a little bit later. We're going to jump right on into it here, our first segment of the day. Baseball, Wayne State College, they went out to Pueblo, Colorado, where they took on Minnesota Crookston and had the opening NSIC weekend. They did go 1-3. The bats came out to show, but the pitching did not. However, they won 12-1 in 7 innings, lost 0-8, 6-11, and then 9-11 as well. Armando, what did you take of the first weekend of the NSIC play?
Yeah, and we talked about last Wednesday's episode how Crookston is basically the same team from last season. We went in a deep dive on their roster and what games that they played, but they're the first team that Wayne State College has faced in the NSIC and in a different setting, a neutral setting, but they couldn't really get nothing done. We talked about how in their first 4 games, Wayne State couldn't really get anything in their pitching rotation and really hasn't had no depth at all. I mean, you could say that, but I would say so too, but you just couldn't really see their pitchers during the later innings. I mean, you can see right here in the scores like 12-1, 0-8, 6-11, and 9-11. So you only see them win one game, but Crookston was able to get through their second and fourth games, really killing the Wayne State College's batting rotation.
And Tori, you and I announced a lot of baseball games last year, and the main problem that we saw as well was the pitching. I mean, is it a matter of inconsistency, confidence, skill? I mean, what is it? Because it just hasn't seemed like the pitching has gotten better.
I mean, I do think it's a big lack of inconsistency. I mean, like Armando said, this team has struggled with pitching depth a lot in the past, and that is so important. You need to have that depth in pitching. You need to have pitchers that could throw really accurate and good pitches. Just not having that pitching can really hurt you. I mean, yeah, offense is very beneficial in a game of baseball and even softball, but pitching too, very important. And if you don't have that, you're out of luck.
Well, and it's very early in the season, and we're talking about the pitching being a struggle already, and last year it was a struggle as well. I'll leave the question for you guys. What needs to change, and how do we get over this hump of we need consistent pitching and pitching that limits runs, gives the offense an opportunity to answer back?
Yeah, just honestly, if you have really good pitchers in there in that pitcher rotation, in that bullpen that were able to hit quick fastballs, can get you either good strikeouts, I believe you can honestly win the game on that. I mean, we seen Jacob Kneifel, I believe that he was a transfer from Nebraska. He's honestly not that bad. He has an arm. I believe you got to get him involved too. You got to get other pitchers involved in the rotation. Well,
and it seemed like the ground ball effect was working last year as well, Tori. And the fact that they were searching for ground balls, the middle infield really solid, a really strong group, susceptible to errors from time to time. But don't you think if they live in the bottom part of the zone that they're able to get more outs and more quick and easy outs that way.
Yeah, I mean, one thing as a pitcher that you really do have to focus on is just forcing those ground balls and trusting your defense behind you. Like Andrew just said, Wayne State has a tremendously good middle infield. I mean, they were on fire last year, and they've been on fire this year. Like we said in the past couple episodes ago, we didn't really lose much of their infield. We still have like a good, solid group for their infield. Just having a pitcher that could force ground balls and trusting their defense is very important here.
Absolutely. Well, baseball is back in town for a little bit. They head down to Florida next for a little baseball tournament against a flurry of other teams. What are some expectations for you guys when they head down there to compete against some of the best teams in D2 baseball?
I mean, you have to play up to their level. I mean, you have to play to the other team's level, know what their game plan is, and just try to hit. At least don't get no strikeouts, but obviously you got to hit some line drives to right or left, maybe some center fields, ground balls to center field, but you got to like at least have some consistency and play up to their level.
Yeah, I mean, for the offense, I mean, right before you stand in the box, don't always think to swing for the fences. Take a moment, step out of the box, look where your runners are, read the defense, try to put the ball in play right where it needs to be.
That's what head coach Cook said that he wanted to do with this Wayne State squad. Aim for line drives over the second or shortstop's head and hit the gaps. Moving on to the softball team now. Hey, not too bad of a start for them this year after a little bit of a struggling past few 2, 3, 4 years. Really been quite some time. They went 3-3 down in the Washburn tournament against some of the best competition in D2 softball. 3-3 on the trip overall, where they lost 2-4 to Northwest Missouri State, 9-8, or they won against Fort Hays State. Really just win-loss there for them on this weekend. Losses coming against Northwest Missouri State, 13th ranked team in the country, Central Oklahoma, and also Missouri Western. They did take wins against Fort Hays State, Central Missouri, and Washburn there. And you look at these, the run totals and these numbers here. It doesn't seem like inconsistent play, but it seems like missed opportunities that could have been had over the weekend that they could have capitalized.
Yeah, and going on what you said, Andrew, this is just a bunch of missed opportunities, and we mentioned it in last Wednesday's episode, fatigue. Very much fatigue has hit this team on the double headers. I mean, we were aware of them to be basically not really ready or locked in these double headers, but I mean, we saw them put up runs against Fort Hays State. They won. They put up runs where they just were low scoring and couldn't really get nothing going on offense. On the pitching side, I mean, you allow basically, how much is that? I mean, 11, 13, a lot of runs from the other team. I mean, you went up against other teams in the Division II circuit that know what your pitching is.
21 runs given up in those losses down in Washburn. 25 total runs given up in total over the weekend. Not the worst pitching we've seen, as the bats were able to handle that and kind of take off the pressure from the pitchers, so to say. Really, what did you see out of this weekend that you think is going to help improve this Wildcat softball team over the course of the season?
I think this preseason tournament really showed the team like what they really have to work on before they get into the regular season and getting into that conference play. I bet you they're going to use this tournament as just kind of a reflection period, go into practice, take those parts where they were struggling a little bit, work on them a little bit harder. That way, when they do get into the conference play, they are ready to go. They know exactly what they have to do. Let's go.
And I know that Coach Christy Warnock wants to look back at this tournament, like what you said, Tori. They want to look back at this tournament and use this as fuel on, like, yeah, we can hang with top teams in other conferences in Division II. We've seen it throughout this whole preseason tournaments down in where they play.
They were at Washburn.
Washburn.
Yeah.
They were at Sioux Falls, I believe, previously. They can hang with all the top teams. So NSIC, you better watch out.
Absolutely. Softball, excellent start to their year, 7-3 on the year. Haven't started conference play yet. Unsure of what their upcoming schedule is looking like. I think they also do head down to Florida the same time baseball does for another preseason softball tournament. We're going to take a short break here on KWSC-TV and 91.9 The Cat. You're listening to Cat Talk Live here from Rice Auditorium. Don't go anywhere.
Hey Wildcats, are you struggling to find a safe, quiet place to study? Is your roommate being too loud? Or do you just want to escape the loudness of life? Well, WSC's Conn Library is the place to go. Conn Library is located in the middle of Wayne State's campus between Pyle Hall and Connell. Conn Library has so many resources for you, from being able to rent study rooms, a quiet floor, and academic resources to help you be the best student possible. You can also search the catalog for print and digital material and check out their distance and technology services. Conn Library is open Monday through Thursday from 7:30 a.m. to midnight, Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 1 to 6 p.m., and Sundays from 3 p.m. to midnight. For more information, you can email the Conn Library at asklibrary@wsc.edu. Again, that's asklibrary@wsc.edu. Remember, the Conn Library is a perfect resource that is there for you.
Welcome back to Cat Talk Live here from Rice Auditorium. What an honor it is. Huge thanks to Mike Pawicki for letting us be able to be here and do this Cat Talk Live as well. And also, huge thanks to Nate Bope setting this up as well, getting us ready to go here for Cat Talk Live. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is basketball conference tournament time here at the D2 level. Women's basketball, we're going to be previewing here first as they head up to Moorhead State, Moorhead, Minnesota, to take on the Dragons there. And what a matchup this is. I feel like if you're the women's basketball team, this is a favorable matchup heading on the road. In their first meeting on January 25th, it was a 65-53 Moorhead win with WSC. They only attempted 4 free throws and were out-rebounded by 16 as well. This was the same game where Abby Kopecki suffered her ACL injury. Maya Fitzpatrick, suffered a minor injury before shoot-around as well. Didn't play at 100%, so little banged up in that first game, but now that we have that out of the way, everybody is healthy, ready to go, minus Abby Kopecki, obviously. Feels a little bit more momentum, like we have the edge Wayne State does heading into this matchup.
Yeah, and just going back to what you said, Andrew, yes, from the energy from the past 2 games, the last 2 games in the regular season, Coach Paul Wright and his squad, they were able to bring that energy and have good, consistent defense and played on offense more of a pace and space type of plays going on. But, I mean, you just look at just those 2 games in total and heading into this tournament match, I feel like they're really good.
And Tori, too, a favorable matchup for Wayne as well, because Moorhead, lowest shooting percentage in the NSIC and from 3-point range as well. Defense going to have to be a factor.
Yeah, I mean, Moorhead, they are very tough on defense, too. They're not the best shooting team, like Andrew said, but on defense, I mean, like the stats are on here, out-rebounded. I mean, we've seen that a lot from Wayne State basketball here. The women's team, they're always getting out-rebounded. You see a lot of players, as soon as the shot goes up, they're already making their way to the other half of the floor. You can't do that. You need to get into the paint. You need to box out other players. You need to get those offensive rebounds to give you guys second chances on scoring more and more points for your team.
Physicality and rebounding, big strengths for Moorhead. However, I mean, how does Wayne State College limit the offensive rebounds and make sure that they capitalize on the opportunities that they have?
Well, they have to be dependent on Meg Reitz, Kyler Van Donkersgood, and Brooklyn Cruzy to be more physical and box out. We've seen it in the past 2 games. I mean, they have to be more physical down low in order to be in the game, to able to not be out-rebounded by, 16? I believe. Yeah, you can't allow that. But, I mean, with Moorhead's physicality and rebounding being their biggest strengths, I feel like Wayne State can be more match that and just be able to be with them in the game.
And another thing, too, Tori, obviously making shots stops the offensive rebounds. But just in case that does happen, how does Wayne State College go with playing defense without fouling and limiting those second chance points? Just
making sure where you are on the floor, kind of having that awareness where you kind of are and where your offensive person that you're guarding is. Be physical, be tough, but don't get too tough to the point where your hands are going everywhere, you're hitting everybody everywhere, getting all of those fouls. One thing Wayne State cannot do in this game is get into foul trouble, especially early. Any player that gets into foul trouble early, it's not benefiting your team at all.
And I will take a step back from host here a little bit and analyze a little bit this myself. Kyla Van Donkersgood does have to get to the spot on the block, find the nearest body, and box her out. You just have to get that done in order to limit the second chance points. Moorhead will capitalize on that coming up here in this game against Wayne State College. But outside of that, though, how do you make sure you run efficient offense and get those good looks? Like we've said, all three of us up here, Moorhead a very physical team, and they will foul you.
Yeah, and just head coach Brent Pollroy is very confident in his team. But as you said, on offense, you either have the first or second option to go to. That is Maya Fitzpatrick and Tate Norblade. You see them built sort of a good offense around themselves and able to get some good spacing and get some good shots up, but you can't be in those scoring droughts where you're shooting cold, like 0 of 16, and we've seen it in the previous games. They can't be in that shooting slump, but they have to play with confidence and shoot with a confident arc.
Tori, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, just when you're on offense, you know your plays, you know your teammates, just gel together. Don't be afraid to take those shots. Don't be afraid to get physical when you're down in the paint. Put a shot up, because the chances of you getting fouled by this really aggressive Moorhead squad, very high. Just put a shot up. If you get touched, you're going to the charity stripe, making some free throws for your team.
Well, and I have to agree with Tori on that, too. I don't think Wayne State College women can rely solely behind the three-point arc like they tend to do. The three-point shooting has not been there this year. So what do? You run some pick and roll, run some horn set, get attacking to the cup, so that way you are be able to get more physical, draw some fouls, get to the free throw line. The free throw line, don't get me wrong, hasn't been the prettiest on the year either, however, but it gives you a chance to stop the clock, get some points on there. If you're trailing, cut the lead to what it is, with no time draining on the clock. I mean, it's just one of those things where if you're in a shooting slump, don't continue to shoot your way out of it. Attack the cup and get to the free throw line. Head coach Brent Pollroy also very confident in his team on the road. Armando, we've seen it all year long, even you, Tori, as well, all three of us announcing men's and women's basketball games. The women's team just does not seem like they can get it done on the road.
Yeah, no, they can't really. They tend to struggle on the road, in obviously in previous regular season games. They haven't been able to really shoot with confidence at all. I mean, it's just been either one-sided affair or a blowout on the other end. Like we just cannot. They cannot really just focus. And with Brent Pollroy, with him not connecting with his players, I mean, that could be another factor into this too. I mean, it's tournament time. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of anxiety in these players. And if you have that disconnection, you're going to lose the ball game.
Tori.
Yeah, I mean, exactly just what Mondo said. Like, you just need to gel together as players. You guys are on the team. You're all there for the same reason. Just gel together. Have fun with your teammates, but at the same time, stay focused, stay disciplined, know exactly what you have to do, and I think you got a good ball game under your belt.
Yeah, and another thing, too, you have to have good bench depth as, too. You have to have more bench points coming off the bench. We saw it with Lily Fitzgerald dropping some points. That was her first time getting some action last game. And she was able to get some good bench points for that bench. But, I mean, if none of your starters can be confident in your shots and nothing's rolling, you have to rely on your bench.
Well, we're going to switch over here. Some keys to the game and some predictions. None of us calling the game, so we can make some predictions, and we know how we love to do that here on KWSC 91.9 The Cat. We're going to start with Tori here first. Tori, give us your keys to the game just real fast.
I think the game is going to be close. I'm going to be so honest. I think both teams are going to come into this game super hungry. Moorhead's going to be extremely physical from the start. I feel like they're going to be doing a full court press nearly the entire game on the Wildcats, and same with the Wildcats. I mean, you saw them here. They did a lot of full court press, trap defense. They did it well, and that trap defense that they do, it works. So I feel like just having that same motion going on defense. You just have to play good defense, both ends. I feel like the Wildcats, their shooting is going to be still a little bit cold from the three-point line, but I think there's going to be a lot of good players like Van Donker's good, Cruzy, even Tate Norblade to get into those paint shots, get in those easy layups, and just shots up from the paint. I think at halftime it'll be a less than 10-point difference, and then the second half, I think it's just going to be explosive from the Wildcats.
Played with consistency and lock up on D. That's all I got to say.
All right, well, my keys to the game are going to be box out, get rebounds, and limit second chance points. I feel like that's going to be key number one. You don't want to let the lowest shooting percentage team from the field and from the three-point percentage get those extra looks. They will make them, I promise you that. You also have to play physical and don't let the sort of the broodiness of this game get the better of you. You have to stay confident, have to stay physical in this ball game. And just really run down the line here real quick. Mondo, we'll start with you. Predictions, what scores, thoughts?
Honestly, this is like what you said, Tori, this is going to be a close game, but I have Wayne State by 3.
I have Wayne State by 7.
By 7.
Give them
Wow,
a little
okay.
bit more
All
of a
right.
gap. I have
All
that
right.
much confidence in
Okay,
them.
do we have a score in there?
I think it's going to be very similar to their last score. I mean, last time they met was back in January with the final score of 63-53. I think it's going to be around that same score, maybe like high 60s to high 50s or something like that.
I say by 3, I would say 49 to 52. Wayne State wins.
All right, I do believe it will be a Wayne State College victory. They will edge it out just ever so slightly by 1 point, 52-51. Wayne State Wildcats heading to Sioux Falls on Saturday. We're going to keep it here with the women's basketball subject, though, and I just want to ask you guys, now that the regular season has come to an end and we are in NSIC tournament play, what were some of your favorite moments from this regular season of women's basketball?
Honestly, my favorite moments, gosh. I'm going to kick it to Tori because I have to think about this one, yeah.
My favorite moment from this season was definitely watching them on senior day. That was probably one of the best games, both it was so much fun to watch. You could tell that the players were having so much fun. Tate Norblade, Maya Fitzpatrick, who are the other seniors? Delaney Clark, Carson Boswell. There's one more. Her name is just slipping out of my mind. Yes, Abby Kopecky. Thank you. I mean, this is just a great group of seniors we had this year, and to just see them gel so well together and getting all that playing time for the last time here in Rice Auditorium, it was just so much fun to watch, so much fun to call. It was just a great game. I'd say senior day was my highlight of this season.
I still haven't thought of it. Oh my gosh. Honestly, my favorite moments, is when Kyla Van Donkersgoed was able to expand her game. I mean, we saw that with her expanding her three-point game. I love it when you see a big test out a different level, a different elements to their game, and just able to hit those three-point shots somewhat at a consistent rate. I mean, that was my favorite thing to see.
I think my favorite thing from the women's basketball season was, like you said, senior night against Bemidji State. Was it against Bemidji State?
I believe so, yes.
Against Bemidji State, down double digits at home. Last regular home season game for the Wayne State women. And just, I don't know, something in the second half clicked with this team where they went on a run. And, they got that lead back and forth the entire way, and it just seemed like this team had a sense of confidence and a sense of togetherness when they were with each other out on the court. Came back and won 58-55, and like we said, they played MSU Moorhead already once this year on January 25th, lost 63-53, trying to look to see here if they played once again, and they did not. So only one meeting this year, and it's very common that we see a lot of these teams go 1-1. Very rare do we see them go 2-0, but you usually, when we get to this conference tournament time, have already seen these teams twice. So how difficult is it on your two's opinion, to game plan against this when you've already seen a team once? It was just over a month ago. Do you make much changes, or do you keep a lot of things relatively the same? They did lose by 10 points.
I mean, for me, I think just watching the film, seeing what they did in certain situations and working on it in practice to try and get around it, I think that's what's going to really help this team. I mean, we saw them yesterday when we were in here testing equipment for this event here. We saw them practicing really hard. They were having a lot of fun, but they were very well focused and disciplined. And then they go onto the Cat Club stage behind us and watch some film. They were really analyzing Moorhead's team, really analyzing their offense, trying to get down their plays. I think they're going into this game just knowing exactly what Moorhead is going to do. So I think they're very well prepared for this game.
I mean, I think I'm playing devil's advocate here. I think they have to make some changes. We mentioned it before. We're going to sound like a broken record. They were out rebounded by 16. You have to play with physicality. They have to change with that. They have to change. They have to play with pace and space on offense too, and they have to calm down with the ball. You have about 20 seconds on the shot clock. You have to make sure you wait on offense. Make sure get some spacing going. Help each other out with some screens. They have to either change up the game plan.
On the year, Wayne State College averaging 35.5 boards per game, and then 39.1 out rebounded by their opponents as well. But also, it seems like a defensive sort of a thing too. 64.5 points per game for Wayne State College. Offense inconsistent at times, but 67 points per game for opponents as well. So they can play good defense. It just seems like at times the offense has gone stale and that they have been inconsistent and not been able to get points. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been saying all season, they either have a really hot first half and a really cold second half, or they have a really cold first half, really hot second half. Going into this game, there's no time to mess around. This is NSIC basketball. This is the NSIC tournament. Winner goes to the Pentagon. I mean, you just have to stay zoned in and stay focused tonight.
Winner goes on and takes on Southwest Minnesota State. Oh, my goodness, what a second-round matchup that would be. And a very tough team. Wayne State College played tough twice. I don't believe they came out victorious in either one of those games. But somebody to look out for, Maya Fitzpatrick as well. She's shooting on the year 13.7 points per game, 35% from the field, 25.6% from three. Three-pointer is not typically her game, but she has attempted 125 on the year. Do you anticipate her to extend her range a little bit more, or with how physical this team is, attack the basket?
Yeah, you just have to either attack the basket. If one of the bigs are coming up setting the pick for you, you either want to shoot or maybe go attack the basket like you said. So I would say mostly just I expect her to expand her game. Maybe if get some good pick and fades, maybe she attacks the basket, goes up for the basket, gets an and one. Who knows? I mean, I say, yeah, you have to expand her game.
The highest three-point shooting percentage leader on the team, Delaney Clark, shooting 39%, and that's with consistent numbers, more than 100 three-point shot attempts, 127 for her. Seems like she's going to be a big part at extending that Moorhead defense and really opening up the floor for the Wayne State Wildcats.
Yeah, I mean, Delaney Clark, we've seen it all season. She's kind of like a underdog for this team. I mean, you don't really expect her to have the ability to kind of shoot those threes considering her height, but she is a very strong shooter for this Wildcat squad. I think just when you see her open on the three-point line, give her that shot opportunity, because most of the time she makes them. Like Andrew said, she is the highest three-point shooter on this team.
Well, that's going to do it for the women's basketball portion of things we have here. All three of us agree Wayne State College by maybe a possession. Tori Olguin over here seems to think it will be more than a possession by 7 points. Hey, don't go anywhere. We're going to preview men's basketball here coming up next on KWSC 91.9 The Cat and KWSC-TV.
Did you know that 1 out of every 5 students reports being bullied? According to the National Center for Educational Statistics, 20% of students ages 12 to 18 experienced bullying. Bullying can have serious effects on both the victim and the bully. Victims of bullying are more likely to experience depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues. They might struggle with their schoolwork and feel alone. And bullies are at a higher risk of being violent in their lives. If you have experienced bullying or harassment here on campus, you can contact the Wayne State's Title IX office. The Title IX office is committed to providing an environment in which all students who participate in college programs and activities can work together in an atmosphere free from unlawful discrimination, harassment, or violence. If you need to reach the Title IX office, you can contact the Title IX coordinator, Alicia Dorsey, at 402-375-7289. Be the change to end bullying.
Culture and community are two things we value on campus. Latinos Uniting is a student-led organization that works to promote diversity on campus by creating a safe space for the Latin community to express their culture.
Cultura y comunidad son dos cosas que nosotros valoramos aquí en el colegio. Latinos Unidos es una organización dirigida por estudiantes que trabaja en promover la diversidad aquí en Wayne State College. Ellos crean un espacio seguro para la comunidad latina para expresar la cultura. Las juntas son cada otra semana a las 6 p.m. los miércoles en la habitación en el segundo piso del edificio Centro Estudiante. Para más información, visita el sitio de Wayne State College. Latinos son unidos.
For more information, you can contact Ella Arroyo at ELLARA01@WSC.edu.
Welcome back to Rice Auditorium here for Cat Talk Live. Guys, this has been a great show. I cannot lie. This has been very fun. The energy it feels a little different here now that it's NSIC tournament play, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that and just the fact, a little change of scenery. I mean, being in Rice Auditorium here, it's fun.
Yeah, we never get these opportunities too. I mean, it's just something that we've been planning on for a while now, and we made it happen. And so if y'all are enjoying it, we are enjoying it, so we can come back and do different locations and set it up.
And I think it is safe to say that none of us would actually like to be here. We would rather have that NSIC men's first round and women's first round game being hosted here. Unfortunately, could not get that done during the course of the regular season. That is how the men's basketball team ended up in Winona, Minnesota. They're taking on the Winona State Warriors in their first round matchup of the NSIC tournament, taking place at 6 p.m. tonight. You can check out the NSIC network for that game. And another favorable matchup for the Wayne State Wildcats, I would say, taking on Winona. Their first meeting on December 7th was a 68-63 victory for the Wayne State Wildcats. Wayne State in a game they controlled the entire time but had to stave off a comeback. Kai Smith, his first breakout game, we've seen how tremendous he's been ever since and what a key role player he is to this Wildcat men's basketball team. He had 17 and shot 6 of 6. All Winona starters had double digits. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, Wayne State couldn't really defend well, allowing that to happen. I mean, it was just an out of control game for Wayne State, but they were able to win it by at least 5. But as we saw in that beginning match, we can see that during this match too. I mean, there's a lot of odds stacked against Wayne State. They're coming into this tournament as the underdog, the 10th seed. So expect them to either play with good pace and play with confidence and have J.J. Farron let it fly. That's all I got to say.
And much like the women's team, Tori, not great on the road. 4-7 it says here. They are 16-12. However, it seemed like the end of their regular season was, I'm not sure if disappointment's the right word, but very anticlimactic. We were expecting more out of this team. Feels like they have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder heading up to Winona.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them. They were really hot for a bit there, and then I believe they had a huge loss against Augustana, I believe it was. And then after that, it just kind of slowly kept going downhill. They hung on by a thread, but just, I know this team is better. I know they play a lot harder. I know they shoot a lot better than what they did for the last part of the season. I know this team is better. They just didn't show it.
Yeah, and the Warriors are very well-rounded and very mobile. I mean, you have either two forwards that basically shoot like guards. They let it fly, too. I mean, you have Luke Hurdle and Connor Drew, two of the top scorers in the NSIC. And then Isaiah Thompson, too, with averaging 13.5 points per game and 8.9 rebounds per game. So I mean, I have to ask this. I mean, you have to at least limit those three and honestly win the game from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it to Tori's point as well, that 5-game low winning streak that they had where they took down Northern State, Mary, 14th ranked at the time, Minot State, Minnesota Crookston, and Moorhead in overtime, only winning 3 of their last 7. Do you think that's on their mind a little bit heading into this game? And if so, how do they overcome that factor?
Yeah, they have to overcome with that factor of just play with confidence. I mean, we saw that in the last regular season game where Matt Knoll dropped 36 points, his career high as a Wayne State College player. That is something that I never expected from a freshman in his first year on the team. So, and obviously Jay Saunders with 25 points as well. So you have other contributors like Knoll and Saunders, but you have to have have Stokes involved, Farron involved, McCullough, especially if he's fouls out or gets into foul trouble early. You have to be dependent on each other and just play with confidence.
Well, and I don't think we were expecting Matt Knoll to be a starter this year either. More so Cody McCullough, but he went down with that injury, and now Matt Knoll coming in, kind of taking away that pressure from him. Started in 27 of the 28 games, get this, 13.1 points per game for him, shooting 38% from the three-point line, 53.6% from the field. Truly ridiculous numbers. He can also rebound it well, too, at 4.4 rebounds per game, and is a little bit of a facilitator as well. How important is it going to be for Matt Knoll, his first ever conference tournament game at the Division II level, a college level? How important is it going to be for him to handle his emotions and settle things down and make sure he becomes the leader? Because it's like you hear all these analysts say all the time, once you get to this part of the season, these freshmen, they kind of have to turn into sophomores.
Yeah, especially they have to step up in that role that they have to play up to their level and play with up to their element, as Andrew just dropped his paper. But never mind that. But, you know, we just have Matt Knoll has a lot of pressure on him. And honestly, one of the better freshmen in the NSIC to step up and just in next year, heading into next year, this is going to be a different team. All of the seniors are going to leave. And who's going to be really that leader that takes this Wayne State College team into the future? Matt Knoll, this is honestly a stepping stone, the first stepping ground for him to become that leader.
Tori.
Yeah, I mean, going off of what Armando said, just kind of go into this tournament kind of already with that mindset that you are a leader on this team. I mean, obviously don't take advantage of that term and become a cocky player. Don't be rude. Don't be using it to your advantage, but use it as a way to help your team grow. Use it as a way to show the younger players who don't really get that opportunity to play, show them what it's like. I mean, Matt Knoll, very impressive freshman season here for the Wildcat squad. I can definitely see him stepping up next year and the years beyond that as a very true leader for this team.
Well, it's very true. The Winona State Warriors as well, very well-rounded and very mobile, very athletic, can really get to their spot on the floor if they need to. Forwards also, they can shoot like guards straight up. Luke Hurdle and Connor Drew are 2 of the NSIC top 10 scorers in the conference, and also Isaiah Thompson averaging 13.5 points per game, 9 rebounds per game as well. And the last time these two met up, Winona State starters, all of their scorers were in double figures. Who do you expect for Wayne State College to really pick up the scoring effort and also maintain these other guys on Winona State, not allowing those 5 starters to all average double figures?
I think the Wildcats just need to play very heavy defense. I mean, like we were talking about on the women's side of things, don't play too hard to where you're fouling all the time because, again, you can't really get into foul trouble when you're in the tournament now, but just playing hard defense, making sure that those players just won't pass the ball around, making sure that they can't get those open shots. I mean, Jay Saunders, we've seen a lot of amazing defense from him all season. I think if everyone on the team plays really good defense, follows Jay Saunders' lead, this is going to be a good squad to kind of shut down that Winona's offense.
Well, and to Tori's point, Mondo, as well, play defense without fouling, something men's basketball has really struggled with this year.
Yeah, they really tend to struggle with that as well. But, I mean, with your defensive leaders in Stokes and Saunders, you honestly have to be dependent on them. I mean, because I said this previously. I don't know when I said it, but when the front court of Farron, Knoll, McCullough, I mean, that's your offense, and then you have your defensive backcourt right there with Stokes and Saunders. They both can do it on both sides, but they mostly are on that defensive side. But, I mean, you just either have to be dependent on them, and they have to step up as leaders too, senior leaders, and tell your team, hey, we have to play with defense, and we have to be playing with them. So
Matt Knoll, J.J. Farron, Cody McCullough, the top 3 scorers for Wayne State College here at 13.1, 12.1, and 11.6 points per game. I'm going to, again, put my analysis hat on right here real quick. And to me, it has to be the bench that comes out and relieves some of the pressure for the starters for Wayne State College here this evening. We know what Matt Knoll, J.J. Farron, Cody McCullough can do. What can Sean Stokes do? What can Jay Saunders do? What can Kai Smith do? Noah Erickson even. We've seen him towards the end there get a lot of minutes, or not a lot of minutes, but reliable minutes, consistent enough minutes to make a difference out on the court. Just to me, it seems like there needs to be a little bit more of a balanced effort, because Winona, they will, like we've said, a very agile, very mobile, very disciplined team. If they're able to mix things up a little bit and catch this Winona team off guard, I don't see whatsoever why the Wildcats can't come away with this one.
Yeah.
As I drop my paper again.
Yeah, but they have to play with perimeter defense. They have to stay up with their man, either go into a 2-3 zone, a man coverage there, and they have to play up to the perimeter, up to the three-point line, mostly in the interior, inside the paint. They can honestly handle, but you have to be cautious with the fouling down low. But with perimeter defense, they have to stick with their man, either switch on screens, and then they're able to control basically that Winona State defense or offense.
And then Tori, head coach Kaminsky, saying they think they match up really well against this squad in Winona State. The turnover battle will be massive, and they have to shoot well in this game. Two of some of the biggest pressure things in a basketball game, I would say, when somebody tells you, hey, don't turn the ball over and shoot the ball well, easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this in the past before in both a pregame for basketball and even on Cat Talk. Turnovers can make it or break it for a basketball game. You want to keep the turnovers down low. You just want to keep limiting the extra points and the extra opportunities that you give the other team. Turnovers have to stay on an all-time low this game.
And how important is it going to be for Wayne State College? They controlled the entire game last time. Can't let one slip away here. We know how their struggles can be on the road. How do they maintain a lead if they get one?
Yeah, in maintaining a lead, really, is we've seen it in previous games. They have a big lead heading into the first half and almost let that slip away from them. I mean, they hold leads in the first half. They get high in the first half, not in the second half, really. I mean, they have pretty much cold shooting in the second half. They have to be confident and not letting those leads get up to them. They have to stop having their egos ahead of them and just have basically play with space, play with confidence, and then play with effort, too.
Tori, how do they maintain this consistency of winning the turnover battle and shooting the ball well?
They just have to know what they're doing with the ball. You can't slack off when you have the ball in your hand. You just can't, because Winona is a team that will take advantage of your silly mistakes. can't go in with this. Have the good confidence, gel well together with your team, communicate with your team, know what plays you're running before you even get across half court. Just know what you're going to do with the ball. Don't just stand there, kind of think about things a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's good to slow down the game every once in a while, but just know what you're doing with the ball at all times because, like I just said, Winona is a team that will take advantage of these silly mistakes, and they will gain extra points if you make those silly errors.
I will say, too, little thing I'll touch on here. JJ Farron has to be off the ball here this evening. Both games, by the way, at 6 p.m. Can catch them on NSIC Network, men's and women's. JJ Farron has to play off the ball. That's where we see him play his best basketball. Seems like when he's trying to bring the ball up the court, he gets a little flustered at times, not unable to handle the basketball, but be a ball handler at the same time, if you understand what I'm saying. Getting him those off screens, those off ball looks, he becomes a different shooter. He can shoot the lights out. We've seen him pull up multiple times from the logo over there. Yeah, I mean, am I so wrong in that statement necessarily?
No, you're not. And head coach Jeff Kaminsky knows how Farron plays. I mean, he trusts his Farron mostly when he's there, gets to its hot spots, and he just lets it fly. He knows how Farron is. He's been with coaching Farron for about a season now. I mean, he's a sophomore. He knows how he plays, but honestly have some design plays for him. I mean, you could either run some floppy action, some elevator screens, some horns action going on. But, I mean, you can honestly just have them just catch off the ball, have him in a catch and shoot situation as well. Let him fly. He's going to knock those down 100% of the time.
Tori, thoughts on JJ Farron getting off-ball opportunities? And it seems like he does become an elevated shooter when he does get those off-ball looks.
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, Andrew, like we've seen JJ Farron kind of struggle when he brings the ball up there. I think he just gets really anxious because he's more on the shorter side of this team. There's normally a lot of defenders that are a lot taller and stronger than him that are coming to defend him. I think he just gets really anxious there and he brings the ball up. But when you're giving him the ball to shoot, he is on fire. And he is definitely one of the stronger shooters on this Wildcat squad. Like I said with Delaney Clark earlier, if you see him on that three-point line wide open, give him that opportunity.
Well, heading into the closing minutes of this segment here, what are some keys to the game and predictions for you, Mondo?
Keys to the game, honestly, I just want to see Cody McCullough get physical down low. Make sure if he has a smaller defender, if it's a mismatch, give him to him. It's going to be barbecue chicken from there. The big man can really get down there and get you some points late in the game, maybe during the game. I just want to see Cody McCullough get some points in the paint and just make sure those defenders are just, like what I said previously, barbecue chicken.
Cody McCullough a bit on a double-double watch there the last 5 games of the season where he did have 2 double-doubles. Tori, keys to the game and your prediction.
I think just like Armando said, especially with Cody McCullough, we've seen it from both him and Matt Knoll. They are not afraid to get physical in the paint there and get those shots up. We've seen them a lot at the charity stripe this past season. I think if they continue to be that aggressive to give those opportunities to go to the charity stripe and just make those extra free throws, I think they're going to be good for tonight. I think the game's still going to be very close, but I think the Wildcats will finish on top if McCullough and Knoll are that physical in the paint.
Matt Knoll and Cody McCullough are going to do what they do every single game. To me, it has to be JJ Farron. You have to get yourself off-ball opportunities. And once you do get those opportunities, you have to make those shots as well. Shot over 40% from 3 last year. It is a down year for you. I understand that, Mr. Farron. Time to rise or shine, baby. You got to get the job done here today. And I'm sorry, I missed your guys' predictions. Prediction, Mondo. Wayne State versus Winona State here, 6 p.m. tonight on the NSIC Network.
They only won by 5 the previous game. Do you have to be dependent on your offense? Give me Wayne State by 7, 60-53.
Tori.
I think it's going to be Wayne State, but 66-67.
Okay. All right, I'm going to say Wayne State College again, 1-point victory, 75-74. I do think it will be a little bit of an offensive showcase here this time around. Hey, we're going to take another short break here. When we come back, touch up a few things here and there, talk about some other things happening around Wayne State College's campus. All coming up next on KWSC Live here on KWSC 91.9 The Cat and KWSC-TV.
No, come back, squirrel. Oh, biscuit stranger, you scared away the squirrel.
Geez, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know that you were watching squirrels. And how come you're out here by yourself anyway?
Great Scrat, of course I'm alone. I don't know anyone else here that watches squirrels. Why, I dare say I'm the only one on campus.
My dude, you definitely are not the only one. I mean, didn't you know? There's a whole club dedicated to squirrel watching.
There's a what?
Yeah, there's a squirrel watching club here on campus.
Do go on. Whatever do you speak of?
You mean to tell me you've never heard of Scrap Pack? Dude, you'd love it. It's a whole club devoted to watching squirrels, and they even take submissions from students. Anyone can join, and then you won't be watching the weird little rodents by yourself.
Why, I mustn't delay any longer. I'm off to join Scrat Pack.
And he ran off without any idea where to go. Now, he doesn't know that Scrap Pack meets every first and third Wednesday of every month, and that they even have an Instagram page, WSC Scrap Pack, that has a lot more information. Man, what a weird and squirrely guy.
Hey Taylor, want to go out tonight?
No, I'm good. I'm just not really in the mood.
You haven't been in the mood for the past 3 weeks. You haven't really been yourself the past 3 weeks. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just feeling a little off. I'm just going to head to bed.
Have you or someone you know seemed off recently? Sleeping too much or too little? Having little to no energy? Feeling numb or not caring about things? Feeling out of place, on edge, angry, or constantly in a state of worry? These are all early warning signs of a mental health decline. Mental health includes emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, act, and feel. It also determines how we make choices and handle stress. To maintain positive mental health, consider getting professional help. Other ways that may help is getting and staying active, helping others, taking days off, and developing coping mechanisms. To get more information about mental health, visit mentalhealth.gov. Again, that is mentalhealth.gov.
Welcome back here to Cat Talk live from Rice Auditorium. You know what? Thank God we are not in that hot attic, bruh.
I do not.
It feels nice not to be able to sweat through the shirt, talk sports normally. Truly a great opportunity. Huge thanks to Mike Powicki and also Nate Bope for setting all of this up for us. What an opportunity it's been. I think it's been a fantastic show. What a great job all three of us have done. Also, huge thanks to Taylor Sloger and Gabe Turwey for coming out. Isaiah Salmon as well on graphics here. And Andrew, the engineer, getting things done for us. But
as well as Carson Snitchler back in the booth, making sure we sound the best for you guys.
Absolutely. A whole lot of working parts here that go in with KWSC Sports Media, and if it's an opportunity where you're interested in becoming a communications major, talking about sports, give Dr. Shauna Hearn an email. He is the one that oversees all operations here with KWSC Student Media, and just what evolution that we've come from. I mean, I remember Tori and I, we were just a couple of freshmen last year in one little recording studio, hot as hell, and just now we go from live, and now we're in Rice Auditorium where men's and women's basketball play. How cool is that?
Yeah, and just this is a good opportunity for me as a freshman, just be able to be on this podcast for about basically a year now. And I'm just grateful for both of you and Nate. Just honestly, this show has basically elevated like my resume, and this is something I could look back at and tell my kids, my future kids, just, hey, this is something I did, right? And this is just honestly a good setting too. We see the background too. Good thing we don't have any fans, because it's a hot mic, but I mean, good thing we don't have any fans in the stands. It's,
Good thing we don't have kids at 19.
Oh, yeah.
We said future kids, Tori.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the GM of KWSC, and as much as I love being in the hot air studio, the hot attic, as they call it, in the on-air studio, it is my home. This was probably the best opportunity I think we've gotten on Cat Talk this year. Just being here, sharing the same floor that the Wildcat Athletics have stepped on. It's like kind of funny. I walked in here and I was thinking like, man, I'm sharing this floor with the professional athlete because remember, Taya Beller just recently went pro over the Atlanta Vibe. She played right here in the fall semester. It's just really cool to be on the same floor as the athletes, just getting the feel that you're kind of in that inner circle of athletics. Feels great.
Huge privilege and huge thanks to all of you guys out there that support us, watch us, and give us the attention that sometimes we may or may not deserve here. But hey, a couple other things going around the WSC campus here. Beach volleyball, we just saw them actually practicing over there. I don't know if the camera can pick it up as well. The net's set up over there. They were in here. Snow is melting. It is 60-degree weather in February in Nebraska. Keep in mind, how crazy is that? But beach volleyball has gotten started. They are outside. They started practicing a little bit outside today, coming in just for a little bit. It was a little bit chillier, a little bit windier out. Exciting times here, and we could see some new talent. I mean, like we saw with the freshman setter for Wayne State this year, coming from the beach volleyball ranks, already getting half a season under her belt, obviously in sand. It translated well out onto the court. What are you expecting from this beach volleyball season and potentially heading into the next volleyball fall season?
Yeah, no, and we get to see basically the incoming freshmen become sort of that, become in that role of just them showing them what they can do. Their first matchup is against, I believe, UNL, Nebraska, and we already know what Nebraska can do on the court, but in beach though they've been decently. I mean, I believe so. They lost a few games. They won a few games with a different sets of duos with like Harper Murray and Andy Jackson and stuff. So really, you get to see them showcase what they can do, and it's a good preview on what's going to be coming into next fall.
Yeah, I know they're going to be heading down to Arizona here over spring break, so hopefully I can go and catch a couple of their games because they are playing, I believe, at Ottawa University, which is about 30 minutes away from my house. So if I can try to catch a beach volleyball game, I will. So.
Absolutely. And another thing I wanted to mention, too, huge congratulations to Mary Mikulski as well. All-American honors for women's college rugby. Earlier this year, the list of All-Americans came out earlier, sometime February, I want to believe, February 6th. And women's rugby, they're looking like a solid squad coming into next season, returning 3 All-Stars, Mary Mikulski being one of them and an All-American. I even talked to her. She seems excited. Her team's excited. They're shooting for nationals this year, not just a regional appearance.
Yeah, and they want to elevate their game, such as what the men's did, winning national champions, becoming national champions, and being honored during one of the Wayne State men's basketball games. But I mean, hey, you know, it's something to look back at, and it gives the women's rugby team sort of an advantage and step sort of like, hey, we need to step our element up to like the men's, and we need to play with confidence.
Yeah, I mean, both rugby squads actually are very impressive. I mean, the women's rugby team, they've had this national champion experience. I believe the men's team just got their first one in a while here. Both teams, I can tell, are very hungry going into next year and even next season. Just can't wait to see where rugby goes.
Well, guys, I think it's time we start wrapping up this podcast episode here from Rice Auditorium. I mean, seriously, all the words that we just said, huge thanks to Mike Pawicki, huge thanks to Nate Pope running around, getting all this set up. He is the man that puts everything together and helps KWSC Sports Media keep running. Huge thanks to Carson Schnitzler for taking time out of his day, making us all sound good. Huge thanks to Isaiah Salmon up in the press box right now. Graphics, amazing job, some of the best I've ever seen. Huge thanks to Taylor Sloger and Gabe Turwey behind the camera. Tori Olguin, Armando Alferez. I'm Andrew Reese. That's going to do it for Cat Talk Live here from Rice Auditorium. Hey, go Cats. We hope they have a successful NSIC tournament. And when we come back on Friday, we'll be discussing those results and hopefully a preview for their matchups in the quarterfinals in the Stanford Pentagon up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for the NSIC tournament. Hey, take care, everybody. And always remember, go Cats.
Yeah.
Go Cats.